Hello, good morning, and welcome to today's class. Today's class is a continuation of our previous classes on simultaneous linear and quadratic equations. In our previous class, we were able to solve simultaneous linear equations problem, where I did explain to you that we have three methods of solving that, of which there are the substitution method, the elimination method, and the graphical method. In today's class, we are going to be solving simultaneous linear equations using elimination method and substitution method respectively. So this is just to acquaint ourselves with both methods. And I did tell you that in solving a simultaneous linear equation, the best method to use is that of the elimination method or substitution method. Reason being that it is the quickest and it's going to save a lot of time. But unless otherwise stated, I will advise you to first of all make use of the elimination and or the substitution method in solving problems. So question number one. Question number one says we should solve the following pairs of equations simultaneously. We are going to be solving about 9 questions, of which the first 4 I'm going to solve using elimination method, while the other 5 I will solve using substitution method. So question number 1 says we should solve the following simultaneous equation. So I'm going to write both equations. This is x plus 2y is equal to 7, while the second equation is x minus y is equal to 4. I'll call this equation 1 and I'll call this equation 2. Using elimination method, I said we are going to eliminate that which is common. Okay, so we have x and y as the variable terms. But in elimination method, for you to be able to eliminate 1, you must ensure that the coefficient of either x or y in both equation 1 and equation 2 are the same. So looking at this question, you discover that the coefficient of x in equation 1 is 1 and the coefficient of x in equation 2 is 1. So I can move straight ahead and subtract equation 2 from equation 1. By doing that, we have eliminated x, while the other one remains visible for us to solve. So x minus x becomes 0, 2y minus y becomes 2y plus y, which gives us 3y is equal to 7 minus 4. 7 minus 4 is said to be 3. And in order for us to make y the subject of the formula, we have to divide both sides by 3. If you divide here by 3 and this by 3, our value for y will be equal to 1, as 3 divided by 3 is 1. So by eliminating x, I have gotten my value for y. Now how do I get the value for x? I can get my value for x by substituting y for 1 in either equation 1 or 2. So I will say substitute y for 1 in equation 1. And equation 1 says x plus 2y is equal to 7. So wherever you see y, replace it with 1. This becomes x plus 2 into bracket 1 is equal to 7. This gives us x plus 2 is equal to 7. Making x the subject of the formula, by subtracting 2 from both sides, we have x is equal to 7 minus 2 and x is equal to 5. So with x as 5 and y as 1, these equations is said to be solved simultaneously. Question 2 says x plus y is equal to 2 and 3x minus 2y is equal to 1. Call this equation 1 and call this equation 2. I would like to eliminate x, but the coefficient of x in equation 1 is different from the coefficient of x in equation 2. So how do I make them equal? You can make them equal by multiplying equation 1 by the coefficient of x in equation 2, and as well multiplying equation 2 by the coefficient of x in equation 1. So that means I'm going to multiply equation 1 by 3 and multiply equation 2 by 1. So multiplying every term in equation 1 gives us 3x plus 3y is equal to 6. This is our new equation 1. Y equation 2 becomes 3x minus 2y is equal to 1. So by doing this, I now have a new equation 1 and equation 2 with the coefficient of x in both equations being equal. I can now subtract equation 2 from equation 1 to eliminate x. This becomes 3x minus 3x is 0, while 3y plus minus 2y will be 3y plus 2y, leaving us with 5y is equal to 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. Dividing both sides by 5 to get our value for y, you have it that y is equal to 1. If y is equal to 1, what will be x? I will now substitute y for 1 in either equation 1 or 2, but I'm going to make use of equation 1, where equation 1 says x plus y is equal to 2. Now you can make use of any of these equation 1s we have. Either this or this will still give you the same value. So that y, since if y is equal to 1, it therefore means x plus 1 is equal to 2. So what is x? Making x the subject of the formula by subtracting 1 from both sides gives you x to be equal to 2 minus 1, and x is equal to 1. So if x is equal to 1, while y is equal to 1, will give you the values of x and y in those two simultaneous equations. And just like I said, you can test to confirm if you are right or wrong. When x is 1, this becomes 1 plus y is 1, 1 plus 1, and 1 plus 1 is said to be 2. Or, if x is equal to 1, that is 3 times 1 is 3, minus y is equal to 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 3 minus 2 is said to be 1. That shows that our values for x and y is correct. Question number 3 says 2x plus 3y is equal to 5, and 4x plus 2y is equal to 7. So if you call this equation 1 and you call this equation 2, you will discover that the coefficients of x in equation 1 and equation 2, they are not equal, as well as that of y. In this example, I'm going to eliminate y to find my value of x, of which you can use any of them. You can eliminate one to get the other. So, for simplicity's sake and for your understanding, I'm going to eliminate y to show you that you can eliminate any of them and still arrive at the same answer. So I will make the coefficient of x of y in equation 1 and 2 to be equal by multiplying equation 1 by the coefficient of y in equation 2, which is 7, and as well as multiplying equation 2 by the coefficient of y in equation 1, which is 3. So by simplifying this, this becomes 14x plus 21y will give us 35 as our new equation 1. And when you multiply 3 by every term in equation 2 will give us 12x plus 21y is equal to 33. This is equation 2. I will now subtract equation 2 from equation 1. 14x minus 12x will be 2x. Y21, y minus 21 is said to be 0. And 35 minus 33 is said to be 2. So therefore, if 2x is equal to 2, dividing both sides by 2 will give us the value of x, and x is said to be 2 divided by 2 is said to be 1. Now I have gotten my value for x. I will now substitute x for 1 in equation 2. Equation 2 says 4x plus 7y is equal to 11. So wherever you see x, you put in, you substitute 1 for it. So this becomes 4 times 1 plus 7y is equal to 11. So solving this, you have it at 4 plus 7y is equal to 11. Making 7y to stand alone by subtracting 4 from both sides gives us 7y is equal to 11 minus 4. And this becomes 7y is equal to 11 minus 4 is said to be 7. Dividing both sides by 7 will give us our value of y, and our value of y is equal to 1. So if y is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1, let's substitute and see if it's going to give us, if the left hand side is going to be equal to the right hand side. If x is 1 and y is 1, what will be this? 2 times 1 is said to be 2, plus 3 times 1 is said to be 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. That means it's correct. Let's also substitute 1 for x and y in equation 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 7 times 1 is 7. 4 plus 7 is 11. That shows that x and y, being 1, are the only values that can fit into this equation to equate the left hand side and the right hand side. Question 4 says x plus 2y is equal to 7 and 2x plus y is equal to 2. So rearranging this, we have x plus 2y is equal to 7 and 2x plus y is equal to 2. I'll call this equation 1 and this is equation 2. Eliminating y will first of all make the coefficient of y in equation 1 and equation 2 to be equal. And I will do that by multiplying equation 1 by 1, which is the coefficient of y in equation 2, and multiplying equation 2 by 2, which is the coefficient of y in equation 1. Thereby, this becomes x plus 2y is equal to 7 as our new equation 1, while 4x plus 2y is equal to 4 as equation 2. Subtracting equation 2 from equation 1 gives us x minus 4x. X minus 4x is said to be minus 3x, while 2y minus 2y gives us 0. And on our right hand side, 7 minus 4 is said to be 3. Dividing both sides by minus 3, minus 3 will cancel minus 3, leaving us with x to be equal to 3 into itself is 1, plus divided by minus is said to be minus 1. So we are going to substitute x for minus 1 in equation 2. And equation 2 says 2x plus y is equal to 2. So substituting for x, we have 2 times minus 1 plus y is equal to 2. This becomes minus 2 plus y is equal to 2. Making y the subject of the formula by adding 2 to both sides gives us y to be equal to 2 plus 2. And 2 plus 2 is said to be equal to 4. So x is equal to minus 1 while y is equal to 4. So substituting it into this equation, when x is minus 1 and y is equal to plus 4, let's see if it's going to return a 7. This becomes 2 times plus 4. 2 times plus 4 is said to be 8. Minus 1 plus 8 is said to give us 7. So that means our value for x and y in equation 1 is correct. Let's also try it in equation 2. When x is minus 1, y is equal to 4. This becomes 2 times minus 1, which gives us minus 2. And minus 2 plus 4 is said to be equal to 2. So that means our equation is correct. Question number 6 says 2x plus 5y is equal to 6.5, while 5x minus 2y is equals to 9. I'm going to pick equation 2. From equation 2, I will make x the subject of the formula and substitute it into equation 1 to eliminate x. This becomes 5x minus 2y is equal to 9. This is from equation 2. So this becomes 5x is equal to 9 plus 2y, and x is said to be equal to 9 plus 2y divided by 5. This is said to be equation 3. Call this equation 3. We'll now substitute y plus 2y over 5 for x in equation 1. And equation 1 says 2x plus 5y is equal to, let me write this as an improper fraction. This becomes 6 times 2 is 12 plus 1 is 13 divided by 2. So wherever I see x, I'm going to write 9 plus 2y over 5. This becomes 2 into bracket 9 plus 2y divided by 5 plus 5y is equal to 13 over 2. And simplifying this gives us 2 times 9 is 18 plus 2 times 2y is 4y divided by 5 plus 5y over 1 is equal to 13 over 2. In order for me to clear the fractions, I'm going to multiply every term of the equation by the LCM of 5, 1, and 2, which is 10. So multiplying each by 10, this becomes 10 times into bracket 18 plus 4y divided by 5 plus 10 times 5y over 1 is equal to 13 times 10 divided by 2. 5 into itself is 1, into 10 is 2. 2 into itself is 1, 2 into 10 is 5, leaving us with 2 into bracket 18 plus 4y plus 10 times 5y is equal to 13 times 5. So expanding, this becomes 2 times 18. 2 times 18 is said to be 36 plus 4 times 2 is said to be 8y. I have opened that bracket, plus 10 times 5 is said to be 50y is equal to 13 times 5 is said to be 65. Collecting like terms, this becomes 8y plus 50y is equals to 65 minus 36. This becomes 58y is equal to 65 minus 36. 5 minus 6, it cannot, you borrow 1, this becomes 5, this becomes 15. 15 minus 6 is 9. 5 minus 3 is said to be 2. So this becomes 29. So if this is 29, what is our y? Y will be equal to 29 divided by 58. And 29 divided by 58 is said to be 1 over 2, which is half. I have gotten my value for y to be half. But remember, in equation 3, we said x is equal to 9 plus 2y over 5, meaning whatever you get as the value of y multiplied by 2, add 9 to it, and divide by 5 will give you the value of x. That is, x now is equal to 9 plus 2y divided by 5, where x is said to be, where y is said to be half. X will be equal to 9 plus 2 times half divided by 5. 9 plus 1 divided by 5, and x is equal to 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 divided by 5 is said to be 2. So y is equal to half when x is equal to 2. So let's substitute these values to see if our equations will be right. We said y is half when x is 2. So this becomes 2 times x is 2, while this is half, that is 5 times half, and 5 times half is said to be 2 and a half. 2 and a half. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 and a half is said to be 6 and a half. It therefore means that equation 1 is right. Equation 2, we said y is half. This becomes x is 2. This becomes 5 times 2, which is 10, minus half of 2 is said to be 1. That is, 10 minus 1 is said to be 9. That means our values for x and y is correct. Question number 7 says x divided by 2 plus y divided by 2 is equal to 1, and x over 3 plus y over 4 is said to be 1 over 6. So therefore, this can be solved. Very simple. I'm going to clear the fractions in both equations to make the work simpler. So I'll clear the fraction in equation 1 by multiplying every term of equation 1 by the LCM of 2 and 1, which is 2. So this becomes 2 times x divided by 2 plus 2 times y divided by 2 is equal to 1 times 2, so that this becomes 2x. This will cancel itself, so that this becomes x plus y is equal to 2. So from equation 1, I will make x the subject of the formula and substitute into equation 2. This becomes x is equal to 2 minus y. I will call this equation 3. You can as well simplify equation 2 by multiplying every term by the LCM of 3, 4 and 6, or you just go straight ahead and substitute in that equation. So this becomes, I have defined my x to be equal to 2 minus 1. So I'm going to substitute 2 minus 1 for 2 minus y for x in equation 2. So this becomes 2 minus y divided by 3 plus y divided by 4 is equal to minus 1 divided by 6. So I'm going to multiply every term by the LCM of 3, 4 and 6. And the LCM of 3, 4 and 6 is said to be 12. This becomes 12 times 2 minus y divided by 3 plus 12 times y divided by 4 is equal to minus 1 over 6 times 12. This becomes 3 into itself is 1, 3 into 12 is 4, 4 into itself is 1, 4 into 12 is 3, 6 into itself is 1, 6 into 12 is 2. So when you simplify and expand this bracket, it's going to give us 8 minus 4y plus 3y is equal to minus 2. Collecting like terms, you have minus 4y plus 3y is equal to minus 2 minus 8, and this becomes minus 4y plus 3y is said to be minus y being equal to minus 10. And when you divide both sides by -1, you have your y to be equal to 10. Remember, equation 3 has been defined in terms of y. That is, if y is equal to 10, what will be our x? We will now substitute the value of y in equation 3. That will become 2 minus 10, and x is said to be equal to minus 8. That is, x is equal to minus 8 when y is equal to 10. If you substitute it into this equation, I believe what you have on the left hand side is going to be what you have on the right hand side. Equation 8 says 3x minus 5y minus 3 is equal to 0, and 2y minus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. Call this equation 1 and equation 2. From equation 1, we'll make x the subject of the formula. This becomes 3x minus 5y minus 3 is equal to 0. 3x is equal to 5y plus 3. When you add 5y plus 3 to both sides and dividing both sides by 3, you have x to be equals to 5y plus 3 divided by 3. Call this equation 1. I'll now substitute 5y plus 3 divided by 3 for x in equation 2. And equation 2 says 2y plus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. So when you substitute value of x in equation 2, you are going to have 2y plus 6 into bracket 5y plus 3 divided by 3 plus 5 is equal to 0. And when you simplify, you have 2y plus 3 into itself is 1, 3 into 6 is 2, 2 into bracket 5y plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 0, and this becomes 2y plus 10y plus 6 plus 5 is equal to 0. Collecting like terms, this becomes 12y plus 11 is equal to 0. That is, 12y is equal to minus 11, and y is equals to minus 11 divided by 12. If this is our value for y, we'll now substitute it into equation 3 to get our value for x, so that x now becomes 5 into bracket minus 11 divided by 12 plus 3 divided by 3. And when you simplify, this becomes x is equal to minus 55 divided by 12 plus 3 over 1 divided by 3. So when you simplify this, you are going to have minus 55 plus 36 divided by 12 times 1 over 3, because this is still divided by 3, while this is simplified to give you this. So when you simplify, this is equal to minus 55 plus 36 is said to be minus 19 divided by 12 times 1 over 3, which is equal to minus 19 divided by 36 as your answer. And I don't think there's any factor that can divide both minus 19 and 36. Our last question for today says 2x minus y is equals to 9 over 2 and x plus 4y is equal to 0. So from equation 2, I'm going to make y the subject of the formula. That is, from equation 2, we have x to be equal to minus 4y, call this equation 3, and we will then substitute the value for x into equation 1. This becomes 2 into bracket minus 4y minus y is equal to 9 over 2, and when you simplify for that, this becomes minus 8y minus y is equals to 9 over 2, and this becomes minus 8y minus y is said to be minus 9y is equals to 9 over 2. Making y the subject of the formula, we are going to divide both sides by minus 9, and this is the same thing as you say multiplying both sides by minus 9. So this will cancel itself. Y is said to be 9 into itself is 1, and when you multiply out, it's going to give you minus half. So y is said to be minus half. Substituting minus half for y into in equation 3 gives you a value of x to be x is equal to minus 4 times minus half. That is, x is equals to minus times minus is said to be plus, and half times 4 is said to be 2. That is, x is equal to 2 and y is equal to minus half as your answer. When you substitute it in the equation, the left hand side will be equal to the right hand side of both equations. That brings us to the end of today's class. In today's class, we were able to solve simultaneous linear equations using elimination method and substitution method. Remember, we said while using elimination method, you must ensure that the coefficient of the variable you are to eliminate in both equation 1 and equation 2 are said to be equal. While in substitution method, you choose any of the equations, be it equation 1 or equation 2, make one of the variables the subject of the formula, and substituting it into the other equation to eliminate one of the variables. Then you solve it linearly in one variable to get your answer, your value, and substitute it into your equation 3 to get the other variable. In our next class, we shall be taking the second objective, which says solve a pair of equations, one linear and one quadratic, analytically. So in our next class, this is the objective we'll be looking at, where one of the equations will be a linear equation and the other will be a quadratic equation, and we are going to solve them linearly. Thank you for being part of this class. See you tomorrow. Don't forget to like this video and as well as subscribe if you have not done that. Thank you very much, and God bless you.